Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play some Final Fantasy XIV. Now, this is just going to be a quickie introductory episode to Heavensward over here. As you can see, there have been some changes to Nameless Protagonist over here. Namely that we have gone through a race change. I am now an Elezen. Reason is, well, I just wanted to change, and nobody freaking plays as Elezen, so why not? As I'm hitting the wrong buttons over here. Big change number 2 is we are now a white mage instead of a scholar. Reason being is I do not like what Heavensward did to scholar for a bunch of various reasons, and due to obviously expanding out into multiple classes as I have them all leveled to 60 on my main. I ended up actually taking quite a liking to white mage, and I'm a far, far better healer as a white mage anyway. So obviously I made that adjustment to make my journey through this next part of the story a little bit easier on myself and a lot more efficient. If you guys remember, I kind of sucked at Black Mage because I was so out of practice and I could not record and talk on the same time with that. A problem that should be remedied here with White Mage instead. So, it's been a very, very long time since I've actually recorded on this character, even though it took me forever to finish uploading the episodes. The final episode was actually recorded only 2 or 3 days before Heavensward launched. That was nearly 2 years ago. I know it's been a very, very, very long time. So for that, I apologize. I've been just waiting for a good chance to get back into this, and for a while, it took me a while to decide what I wanted to do with this. The main change I'm going to make is my style of narrative. I tried to be far, far too objective and informative when I played through Overwhelm Reborn, and I refrained in a lot of cases from actually expressing my true opinions on what was happening, particular in my personal style, which I'm like this in real life, where I rant and complain about everything. I over-criticize the crap out of things, even if I don't actually mean it in a negative light. That's just often just how I view things, is to nitpick, but I nitpick because I love and I want it to be better. If it wasn't worth my time, I wouldn't be thinking about it in the first place. So going forward, for those of you who are not familiar with my other Let's Plays, where I often sit there and complain a lot, I do it because I enjoy it. It is not meant to be personal. I play this game for hours every single day, and I have since launched. I pick at it because I love it. And of course, the writers aren't perfect, I'm not perfect, and you might have different opinions than I do, and that's perfectly okay. And frankly, with the writing in Heavensward, while it is much better from a narrative gameplay standpoint, there are a lot fewer fetch quests. A lot of the story is packed down much more efficiently, and there's a lot less fluff where there doesn't need to be fluff. But that's not to say it's not without its problems, some of which are forgiven, being that this is an MMO, and it has to be, the whole vehicle is driven to be multiple places at once and not just on the path that I like to see it as. So obviously that is also a contributing factor. So again, please forgive, I tease because I love. So to give us a recap, I'm actually standing here in the intercessory and in front of the fire just because the lighting in this room is absolute garbage. Just give a recap over here. In the last few patches, we've encountered the mysterious Lady Iceheart, which nobody knows her name. Well, we do now because she was polite enough to tell us. Who's been stealing and tracking shipments and generally causing a ruckus and being a pain in the ass to the people of Kurthus here in order to get what she wants. Now, using these crystals, she has summoned the primal Shiva within herself, and we get the huge hint and pretty much flat out stated that she shares the same gift as the Echo as us. And she has, for her own reasons, she wants to stop the Dragonsong War just as much as we do, but her methods are kinda in us. So what she does is to, obviously, she sees some semblance of intelligence with us and is willing to tell us that to understand what we're doing, because she views us as the bad guy and not her, is to seek out the keeper of the Lake Midgard-Sommer, who was thought to be dead and destroyed in a battle above Silvertear skies from the Garlean Empire 15 years ago, where their flagship, the Agrius, he pretty much called around the thing, and the thing big blow up, self-destruction kind of thing, and he's presumed to be dead because he hasn't moved. Well, it turns out he's not quite dead. His body probably most certainly is, but he is the father of all dragons, who is thousands and thousands of years old. He's also very powerful, and at Heidelman's behest, due to some unknown pact that they have between them, has semi-stripped us of her blessing, and he's pretty much our little guardian now. Actually, can I even summon him in here? You'll have to forgive the derps here, because the select button's on my controller here, and on my controller, yeah, I can't summon him in here, okay. Are a little bit different, so I often get the two mixed up, because I cancel and select her backwards. So he's been watching over us to see if we're actually proven worthy of Heidelman's blessing in the first place. So, yeah, we're kind of shit out of luck in that regard, and he was, in response to the other things, a lot of other shit has happened on the home turf as well, where, yeah, through a convoluted plot, we have been falsely accused of regicide because the Sultana has apparently been assassinated. I'm just panning the camera around because, well, I'm just talking, so you don't want to stare at the same thing. And, yeah, we've been kind of falsely accused of that. Not only that, but the Crystal Braves have turned completely turncoat, and, yeah, have pretty much all but chased us out of town with the apparent attempt to imprison and or possibly kill us, which is kind of no bueno, so we ran the fuck out of there. Like, we just, like, were like, yeah, no, we need to get out of here now, we'll worry about proving our innocence later. Danger is here, safe place is over there. So, our other friends, the Scions, have seemingly sacrificed themselves in order to allow us to escape. It is heavily implied that they made a mortal sacrifice, but, these kind of things, you never know. I mean, Thancred and Y'shtola are probably dead because she intended to collapse the tunnel on top of them to stop the thing. But Eden Papalymo, like, we're not sure. Minfilia Redback, we're not sure. Did she get trussed by the tunnel? Like, did she find another way out? What did Heidelin tell her to rake her one back? We have no idea. But needless to say, thanks to our dear sister Alize and Master Sid and Lady Ugiri, we have found our way safely out of the city and here in the waiting arms of Ishgard, where it is extremely cold and annoying, but Brushfront is here with cocoa and marshmallows, and yes, there are marshmallows in here, don't you dare tell me otherwise, that's what makes the whole thing, has offered us refuge here until which time to resume our operations, what little is left of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn right now, until such time where our innocence can be proclaimed. So, yeah, the intention is to get us into the city, Ishgard proper, and seek actual proper, paperwork and stuff like that, refugees there, which is what ended up leading us into the story of Heavensward here, where the first quest is. So, yeah, a lot has happened, basically, shit has hit the fan, we're fucked, what do we do now? At this point, you might as well have hit the reset button, except for the fact that we're still the goddamn Warrior of Light. But we're pretty much back to square one of, what do we do now? We pretty much have nothing, and we have to rebuild everything from the ground up. So that's kind of shitty, but somehow, I think we'll find a way through it. Even though Alphino over here has suffered an existential crisis at age 16, no less, at the fall of the Crystal Braves, which he feels largely responsible for, even though he's not the one who he didn't, set them up to betray him. So yeah, he's feeling pretty down and out and whatever, but, Brushfront and Tataru are here to kind of cheer him up a little bit. Yeah, she's got faith. Yeah, I find you're not mentioning little Alphino here, who could definitely use the little picker-upper here, Yeah. Good going there, Tataru. Good going. For a while, you could actually play some Triple Triad with her, in between Heavensward, but those things have since been removed, so it's kind of tearful. Thankfully, the card she dropped now dropped elsewhere, so it's not that big of a deal. She was only available during certain hours of the day anyway, but it was kind of nice to actually see a Scion actually playing a card game in the downtime. I found that kind of a little surreal. So yeah, so apologies for the short episode. I'm not going to actually get into the first quest today, simply because that would take too long. There is a full trailer of Heavensward, which does play on the intro just before the login screen, which unfortunately I cannot show you. I will instead link it down below. And the main reason is I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike because Square Enix has uploaded that to YouTube themselves. And if it's one thing I don't want to do is piss off the bigwigs. So, hopefully we'll get into our new adventure really soon. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys are too. So, with that in mind, I will see you all next time.